Yeah, it was good. So lately I've been reading the Iliad by Homer. It's basically a book about kind of like the olden days, like we're talking Rome or we're talking Alexander the Great. We're talking like Greek philosophy type thing, like the lives back then. And it kind of made me realize that, hey, there was a lot of death back then. Holy shit, there's a lot of war, a lot of fighting with spears, and the way they describe death and like the way life was, it's like you're a man quick. Like you become a man. You become a gladiator real quick. I mean, Alexander was a conqueror by the age of like, was it 22? It could be 22, I could be wrong though. Maybe it was even earlier, who knows. But the point I'm getting at is in this reality, we become men like real late. We become men super late. And the main difference is, in my opinion, what makes a man back then, like the difference is back then there was first of all a threat, so they had to get their shit together soon, right? Or like you're just gonna be murdered and then someone's gonna conquer your land. Unlucky kid. But also because of that threat and the way they had to live, because death was on the horizon every day. They could have a fucking arrow shot at them and killed. Their guts spilled out. You know, a spear through the temple. You know, some horror deaths. Now, when that's the case, they have to grow up quick. They have to do difficult things. And they have to train. They have to be prepared to go to war. Okay. Really take that in. Like, you're a teenager. I don't know what age, like 13 maybe, 14, and you're already being taught to be a man. You're being taught like, hey, you're gonna go to war soon. Get ready. Get working on the arts of war. And if we compare that to our current reality of you're given goy slop to eat, you got your McDonald's, you got everything just given to you nice and easy, pat on the back, here's your job, here's benefits, have a nice easy life, there's no threat, there's no threat, there's definitely no threat, there's definitely not a war on the horizon, definitely not. And it's definitely not the people who might cause the war that's making the situation so easy, so docile, so dumbed down, to dumb the average person down. And it made me realize that doing hard things and being put through things and being forced to overcome them is what creates a man. It's not time. There's people who hit age 40 and they're still a child. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's always good to have that childlike play inside your heart, right? That childlike personality, that's amazing. That keeps your imagination fresh. But I'm talking the person who has zero responsibilities, doesn't work on their vision, just jerks off, plays video games, and does the bare minimum of work every day. The person who doesn't care that their country might be taken over and you know, being replaced, all that sort of thing. So, where am I getting here? I'm getting to the point where if you want to develop as a person and you want to live like your best personality in life, you need to do something difficult. You need to challenge yourself more than the average person, okay? There's a saying that, you know, hard times create, what was it, soft men create hard times. Um, and that's true. There's a few more sayings that I can't mention on video, but I mean, think about it. What if another party was involved that were manufacturing those sayings, right? So, hard men. Why can't hard men create hard men? You know, you're in Rome. You've got the Colosseum, all this sort of thing. You've got to fight to survive. Why can't someone who has to fight to survive create another person who can go through a challenge? Now that's a mystery. But let's take it back to this life. You know, what if it was no, maybe let's say 3 generations ago, you had hard men. You know, people in like World War II. How is it that you go from that to like soft as fuck and soft as fuck within like 1 generation? What if it was manufactured? What if like the enemy purposely made us weak so that they could strike while we're weak? Now I'm going a bit crazy here. I'm going a bit delusional. But it's something to think about. So now that people are soft, we're very easily conquered. When we have like, we're basically still children. And by we, I mean you, if you haven't done anything tough, right? If you're one of them gooners in the basement. So, I'd recommend you challenge yourself. This is where the point of the video is, right? You need to go on a quest. You love quests. You love World of Warcraft and RuneScape, right? You love doing quests. You got your Questscape. Now you have to do that in real life. You've got your Questscape to finish in real life. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, right? You have a Questscape to complete in real life, and you've done 0 quests. Okay? 0. How does that work? Listen, give me your Questscape. Trade your Questscape over to me. Because you have a lot of work to do. I want to give you an example. Okay? An example of my first quest. So, first of all, my first quest was come to Thailand. But that was only part 1 of the quest. The next part was I need to do something where I completely rely on myself here, okay? So, you've probably heard this before, but I brought my bike over, my pedal bike, my cycle bike, and I cycled like 750 maybe kilometers, Bangkok to Chiang Mai. I've never done a long road trip, a bike trip before. You know, before that, the most I've done is 100k in a day, and I've done that once, and it killed me. So, doing 700, that was crazy. Yeah, that, you know, blistering heat, dehydration, having to go hide under little wooden shelters, like, full self-reliance. There was no one I could call. I couldn't call my mum and my dad to like, hey, I'm trapped, come pick me up. It was like fully me. If something went wrong, I had to fix it. You know? If I didn't put in the work, guess what? I'm stranded in the middle of the country. So I had to rely on me to get me from point A to point B. And that was my first quest. My second quest was becoming financially free. You know, I don't want to go back to the UK. That place is a hellhole, right? So I want to. I had to find a way to make money so that I didn't have to return there. And hey, I did it. I'm working out as we speak also. And that's another quest of self-reliance. Become self-reliant. The principles like financially free. You're gonna want strength, your physical up there. You want to be able to fight. You want to have full reliance. This is where confidence comes from. If you're like not a very confident person, maybe try become a person that you can completely rely on. Can you rely on yourself? And if the answer is no, then listen, that's why you don't have any confidence. Fix it. Well, that's all for the video. As we go, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of vocal didgeridoo. Okay, pure cringe. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and I don't know, share something about yourself. Let's build a community, baby.